All right. Well, I don't know what you're even looking at now. Just you got your forces in Switzerland and the Venetian front. Do you have aircraft assigned to any of that? No, you can't. That's right.
None of them reach.
What are your aircraft doing? Just all sitting?
Yeah, just all at an air base in England.
Woof! They're all in one place. You can break up your air force into multiple air groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Under the theaters, new theater, you hit new theater, and then you can assign air groups within the theater, so that you can organize your air force. It's not all clumped up like that. You know, an air group of three air wings, an air group of 5, etc. And name them and stuff. It's a useful organizational tool. Like most theaters, I think you can assign them different priorities for reinforcements. You see the little thing, the radio buttons, green and yellow. Pretty sure that's reinforcement priority in the upper right hand corner of the screen. Like you probably want to set the ungroup to normal, so it's not higher priority than the ones that you actually have a earmarked purpose for. But yeah, I would break stuff up so you can easily find the air wings you need.
How should I split them off?
Well, maybe by mission types, by designs, CAS, fighters, TAC, where you're going to have them operate. You're probably going to need... I'm going to need air support in Syria. You're probably going to want other stuff that hangs out in the closest air base to Norway, actually. You're already in the faction, so you should be able to use air bases anywhere in the Northern International. Like there, for instance.
Yeah, Bergen.
Anywhere you can see an air base, like you could put aircraft in Jutland to not use the supply in southern Norway, but have them close. So you could put some aircraft in the Jutland Peninsula, so that once you enter the war, you can very quickly get them over to southern Norway. You can even build some mission efficiency with like having fighters do intercept missions over southern Norway. They won't actually fly, they won't consume fuel, but you can then just change their airbase to the one in Bergen or whatever. And they'll already be at 100% mission efficiency on intercept, which you could change to air superiority or something when you join the war there. Headache.
Fighter carriers.
Carrier fighters, yeah.
Why aren't they in a carrier? I don't have any carriers, do I?
For doing land-based training, because you produce so many of them that you didn't need them all. I don't know. If they're in an air wing of 100, they won't actually fit on the carriers, though. They'll get broken off into little subgroups of 10.
Okay.
Because air wings and carriers are 10 fighters each instead of 100. Which, most carriers have a capacity, it's a multiple of 20, so instead of 100 for land-based air bases, so yeah. Yeah, keep in mind you can name air groups and have multiple air groups per theater.
Oh. I see.
Yeah.
So I could just have one theater?
Yeah, the theaters matter because you can assign different reinforcement priorities. So you might assign the theaters by area. Like if you want to get the most modern aircraft to Syria because there's more intense air combat there and you don't want stuff to get shot down. So you might have like a Syrian theater, and then you might have an air group for the CAS, an air group for the fighters, etc. And then you might set Syria to higher reinforcement priority because if you're encountering a lot of enemy fighter opposition, you probably want your newest fighters there. Whereas if in an area where you just have green air and the enemy isn't contesting the skies, there's no reason to use faster planes because they're all pretty fast. A plane is fast even in old World War I still. Like, you can't run that fast. You can't drive that fast.
Yeah.
It's, fast enough for harassing ground troops, just not fast enough for fact, slower planes have an easier time hitting ground troops in real life because they have more time over the target.
Oh, yeah.
That's why the A10 is so bloody slow, partly. They gave it a bunch of armor and stuff, and yeah, that makes it slow, but that's an advantage when attacking ground troops, and the armor helps against, enemy counterfire from the ground. The thing is a bloody sitting duck against enemy fighters, but the US always controls the skies because we are a giant bully of a nation that goes invading other countries and they can't even begin to contest the skies, so yeah. So, like I said, I might say it like a Norwegian theater or a Syrian theater. Like you see the Anglian theater is the name of the theater you have right now.
Yeah.
So I might create multiple theaters based on equipment priority.
Can I get anything in Syria, though?
Can you get anything there? You can use my air bases there.
Oh,
I have air bases.
Oh, right. We're in a faction.
Yeah. I've got air bases in Damascus. Do I have any in Aleppo? Nope. It spawned all my... I've got a level 3 air base in Damascus. That's actually it. It might not hurt for you to upgrade my air bases for me eventually. But another option is to invade Cyprus. They already have level 5 air bases.
Oh.
But that takes political power, and, well, you need political power to get your nation to support your war right now. So I wouldn't do it right now. Just eventually. It could be an option.
Yeah.
I mean, that air base is one of the ones that's being used to freaking bomb Gaza in real life right now, because it's strategically located.
Yeah.
Because Cyprus still exists as a...
good place.
Yeah, Cyprus still exists as like a semi-colony of like both the British and the Turks. They kind of conjointly exploit the island. With the more Greek areas being more British aligned and the more Turkish populations being more Turkish aligned, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when it got independence, one of the conditions of independence is you let us use this airbase in perpetuity. So, and then of course that British airbase is being used to fly recon missions. Not so much bombers, but, recon aircraft. For the British that are just handing off the intelligence to Israel in our own world. So you can see it here, like even in this tech level, you can probably fly scout planes from Cyprus to the Levant. It's got plenty of, I mean, it's close enough. Might be a little tight for small airframes at this tech level. Unless you give them extra fuel tanks, but it's fine for mediums. Yep, yeah, so most of the air combat's going to take place in Asia Minor and Levant air zones. There's also the Middle East one, because my eastern state, Deir el-Zur, is Middle East air zone. That's going to be a real hassle to cover, because you also have to cover all of Iraq with it.
Yeah, air zones are weird.
Yeah, well... It's to encourage certain things like invading certain countries for control of their air bases. It's also... It favors certain nations' expansion plans, obviously. It's kind of silly. It's just one more way Paradox Railroad's history sometimes, or tries to. Alt history gets so off the rails now, the air zones being how they are is even more galling. Especially on like a fragmented start like this. Iraq will eventually attack its neighbors, starting with Saudi Arabia. They'll probably take the, where is it? Rally the Arab World focus. It's to the right. All their expansion focus is on the right side. They did in single player. Nope, not that far. It's between curtail pan-Arabism. It's after they strengthen the Golden Square, they'll rally the Arab world. And then that gives a regime change in Arabia to the right of that, Joe. You're looking at the formed Arab League.
I think.
And then, yeah, they'll liberate the Levant, which will involve attacking a number of nations in the Levant area, including, I believe, Syria.
They have to go fascist first.
They're going to go fascist. Strengthen the Golden Square will give them fascist support.
I see.
They could eliminate the Golden Square, but they won't. At least from what I saw in Singleplayer, they're going their fascist path. So, yeah. And also form the Iraqi Alpha, whatever. That'll give them more fascist support too. They'll eventually flip fascist. And they will eventually invade Saudi Arabia, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Palestine, Egypt, the whole shebang. When they attack Iran, they're very likely to see Iran join a faction, and they're going to end up in this war one way or another. It's, question of what side.
North Africa.
What?
Even North Africa.
Yeah, well, they won't actually use the war goals until they share a land border with most of these, so they'll kind of just pour through, starting with Saudi Arabia.
Try to cover the whole Arab world.
Kind of depends what faction Iran joins. They'll mess with Iran pretty early. In my single-player game, they joined the Central Powers. I was playing as Denmark for most of it, and I was in the Central Powers, though, so whatever. I don't know where they'll end up here. It kind of depends on what side of things Iran falls, and who they attack first. Like, if they attack me, and you're at war with the Central Powers, and I'm at war with the Central Powers, they'll join the Central Powers. If they join the Central Powers, Iran might join our faction. So we might be fighting alongside Iran against Iraq and Turkey.
Okay.
Iraq can core Saudi Arabia and stuff, but they won't. They'll push too aggressively and not consolidate their gains. A player is smart enough to consolidate their gains, but some players are hyper aggressive, just like the AI. It's funny how similar the AI can be to certain players. These are sort of people. I must repeat history and start World War II in 1939 kind of people. It's like, no. Even if you want to play as fascist Germany, it was a mistake for the Axis to start the war in 1939. I always hear these stupid arguments. Oh, the longer you wait, the more the Allies get their stuff together. It's like, yes, but of the Axis, the only Axis nation that's anywhere remotely close to ready to go to war in 39 is Germany. They completely ignore Italy, Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary. They need much more time than Germany to get their economy in order. And if you're occupying states, you need time to build compliance, and you need time to build a sub-force that's, really can contest the North Sea and stuff, and cut off the British supplies. Like, it doesn't make sense to. There's good reasons to delay. Yeah, some of the ahistorical fascist German past where you influence neighbors to go fascist and peacefully join the Axis, and eventually Spain will pick a side, eventually Turkey will pick a side, which is not ahistorical. Spain might have eventually joined the Axis if the Axis weren't already losing horribly, and Turkey kind of joined the Allies at the end of the war, might have joined Axis if the Axis had waited, and by the time Turkey was ready to consider joining a side, because they were stabilizing their nation from, they were a newly formed nation. It's likely Turkey would have stayed neutral or joined the Allies historically, but Spain probably would join the Axis given enough time. So, the Axis benefits from waiting. But players, they're obsessed. They think the Nazis are sexy. I swear, and some of them are fascists, and they want to see the Axis win. I mean, I sort of get it. I used to play Axis and Allies, and winning is Germany there, but in Axis and Allies, it's so obscure. It's so removed from, that you can, you don't even see, there are no leader faces, nothing. That's an old, Hasbro computer game. Yeah, okay, fine, but here, it's too hard to mentally separate, and you can do some crazy alt history stuff that's even more challenging as other nations. Why not conquer the world as Poland instead of Germany? Does it have to be Germany? Really? I don't love it. communist Japan has some crazy stuff it can do in the newest DLC, apparently. They got a much better communist tree than the one they currently have.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Apparently they can core all of Asia. Like China, Korea, like Vladivostok, all of it. If they, get control of it, at which point they've already won anyways. It's like a double win mechanic, which is actually kind of nice, because it means you don't have this huge slog. Just makes the, if you've taken down China and Eastern Russia and stuff, is Japan, you pretty much already won the game. This just makes the rest of the game go faster if you want to keep playing. It's a good idea. I like double win mechanics like that.
Helps you conquer the world after you win the game.
Yes.
Pretty much.
And if somehow it isn't decided by that point, like if the game isn't, in some alt histories it might not, it still allows you to keep growing in power instead of suddenly plateauing because you've hit the end of anything remotely close to what Japan historically did. And this is all history anyways. It's like communist, so it's the idea of that path is it's like a Buddhist. So instead of leaning into Japanese culture, they're like the Buddhist socialism. So the unifying thing is religion, and there are Buddhists in most countries in Asia. And people will be less likely to resist if it's like, we're a Buddhist religious socialist government. Then, we're Japan and we're pushing Japanese culture all across the world. It's a weird all history path, and I think it's even a hidden path. So people are like, oh, it's ridiculous taking core. It's like, it's a hidden path. It's like the Holy Roman Empire path for Germany. It's not even one you can see until you do certain things.
Oh, yeah. Can you only do that if the Hindenburg survives?
Yes. Yes.
So weird.
Or, well, no.
No? Is it the other way around?
Yeah, or yes. No, yes. Sorry. You can do a German monarchist path without, but you can only form the Holy Roman Empire, with the Kaiserina. Yeah, you have to have the Kaiserina, that's right, You can only do it if the Hindenburg survives, which you can take a decision to ensure it survives, otherwise it's like a 1 in 4 chance. Yeah, you just have to spend political power, and it hurts your aircraft production. It's increased air safety standards.
Oh, yeah. That's fun.
Or you can just roll the die and not spend the political power, and maybe the Hindenburg survives anyways, and then you didn't spend the political power. But it'll derail your whole run if you have your heart set on... This is why you shouldn't necessarily go into a run thinking, I'm going to do this. I like to play more reactively. I'm going to go in and maybe I'm going to play this nation. Maybe I'll try and go this ideology, but I'm going to play it reactively based on the world situation. This is a good time to do the Holy Roman Empire path because the Hindenburg survived, or this is a good time to do a German communist path because the Hindenburg blew up in flames, They both start with opposing Hitler, so...
Makes sense.
France is a particularly reactive path. Does Germany go fascist? That matters hugely. Do they back down if you oppose the Rhineland, or do they, start a war over it? Because I did a path where is France, where I opposed the Rhineland, Germany went to war over it. That completely changed the outcome of things in a game a while ago. I think that was before I started streaming. It's like one of the last games before I started streaming. What?
Speaking of France, what's it?
They're going monarchist.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see from the constitutional amendment or whatever spirit. I think it's the one on the second line. Yep, constitutional
revision.
They only do that if they're going monarchist.
Oh.
It's like it's before there. Revise the constitution.
Right here.
Yeah, you can access it, I think, and still go fascist if you're a player. I forget. I'm not sure if you've locked yourself into going monarchist to get that far. But if the AI,
we don't know if they're going Orleanist or...
They're going Orleanist. I'll just tell you that now.
Okay.
Which is their most passive path. If they go Napoleonic or legitimist, they'll either attack Spain or Germany, or they'll German princedoms rather. And they'll attack you if they avenge Waterloo.
Oh, avenge Waterloo.
Yep, but they're not going to do that because they're going Orleanist, which is the most, just stay at home and build up. It's the only one that gives really big like gives build slots, some clearing, and stability from public welfare. So yeah, and it's the only one that removes all the fascist support that they gain trying to go monarchist. A player can do rate anti-fascist rate, but an AI won't get rid of that fascist support if they go legitimist or the Third Empire, which makes it very easy for a fascist player to start a fascist civil war if they try and go Napoleonic or legitimist.
Because they utilize the leagues.
Yes. And the AI will keep running those decisions even after they've gone. In my single player game, I think they're 100% fascist support, but they're monarchist government because they kept utilizing the leagues after they flipped monarchist. Stupidly, they kept unleashing La Cugula or whatever over and over, or rallying the leagues. No, it would have been La Cugula because it's like, why? The AI sees a decision. I think it doesn't make sense. You need a certain amount of combined fascist non-aligned support to proceed down that focus tree. But you shouldn't run it anymore once you made the flip non-aligned if you're going monarchist. But the AI just keeps doing it. They trash their stability entirely. I'm pretty sure they should have experienced a civil war eventually in my single-player game, but they still haven't. Because their stability ends up being such trash. But maybe it'll happen eventually. Well, we've been recording for 74 minutes, and we've got nothing to show people. So, aside from talking about French focus trees, and you got divisions in Switzerland and Venetia, and you've been doing stuff for your Navy and your Air Force. I did a little off-camera renaming of stuff.
Ready to unpause?
Well, I am very, 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 very much waiting for you to finish getting your Air Force and Navy reorganized. That's what I was waiting on.
Oh, yeah. What should I send to Syria?
Syria? Probably the army that you had in, I think, southwest. Where's the... There. I think you had an army in southwest England waiting. This is why I say name your armies. It's in Plymouth. It's a small group. I think I'd call that Army of Syria, so you know. Instead of Army 5. I mean, Syrian would mean army that belongs to Syria, but okay. Oh. Are they already assigned to that front, or did you just draw that?
No, they're assigned there.
Oh.
I just have to ship them over.
Yeah, so they're probably going to do that once we unpause. You definitely need to make sure you protect you don't want to getting sunk by subs in the Mediterranean.
Oh.
Do you have the ships assigned?
To what?
Well, the most important thing is you need convoy escorts. If you don't have convoy escorts, there's nothing to protect the convoys when they get engaged. Long-term patrols can help wean out enemy convoy raiders faster, but you'd need some convoy escort task forces in the central and eastern Mediterranean. That's the most important thing.
Permanently, or should I just set one to convoy escort?
You'll need it permanently because you're going to have to provide supplies to the men by sea once they arrive in Syria.
Okay. These guys, I could take them off their strike force.
I mean, you're going to also, remember, Turkish subs can make their way to Belgium and mess with you around English Channel. You need some ships around the whole miles. I would just take some out of those strike forces and, yeah, maybe some of the slower destroyers with weaker engines. I don't know. Maybe faster, but slower ones use less fuel. And convoy escorts don't actually end up combat with much both sides subs all that often. And the subs, the AI usually engages at medium or low risk, so they won't actually shoot at the destroyers. You have to engage at high risk for that.
Early destroyers?
Probably. Ones with, stuff like that. Small groups, like, should be multiples of 3, or 3, is it 2 destroyers? It might be 2 destroyers per convoy, multiples of 2 for sure. So like, but I would at a minimum, most convoy escorts task forces should be at least 6 destroyers. That's enough to guard 2 or 3 convoys, and you're going to routinely be guarding convoys of like 14. So you need a ton of destroyers on convoy escort duty, an absolute ton. And you need them in lots of small task forces. You might need multiple fleets doing it. In fact, it's one of the biggest demands in your ships. Yeah, it takes a ton of destroyers. This is why the British historically like destroyers so much, because you need a lot of them to protect convoys. It's also why, the U.S. Navy can't protect every ship that goes through the Strait of Hormuz.
Oh, no. I got rid of all the orders. Yeah, dang it. Yeah, that was not what I meant to do.
I can pause it for YouTube again, or I can just end this stream because it's getting long even for Twitch.
You were Strike Force. Okay,
yeah. Yeah, you're going to need, given the supply lines, and given whenever a force gets on convoy escort duty and gets engaged and it's no longer protecting any other convoys, you're probably going to need like at least a dozen task forces on convoy escort duty. So it's going to be a huge chunk of your destroyer force. It's going to take you a little while, and you're probably going to need a couple, like a new fleet. Aside from the 5 fleets, you probably need 6 fleets. Yep, you may need more admirals someday. You had more at the beginning of the game, but the communist flip removed some of your admirals, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut this. It's kind of long for Twitch. It's too long for YouTube anyways. I already have to, an hour 11 minutes. It's so slow. I probably won't. But maybe I'll cut it either in 2 or I won't cut it at all and just upload as is. Cutting in 2 usually makes the file size smaller though. Like the 2 halves are smaller in the original because of the formatting changes. The benefit goes down the more ways to cut something. No.
Why do I split them up into a bunch of task forces?
3 reasons. Because there are limits to, like, a convoy escort can always essentially, like, how many sea zones can be covered, based on the number of task forces. That's one reason. The second main reason is if a convoy gets hit by subs, it's removed. The task force that was guarding it is removed from eligibility to cover others. So if there's like 3 sub ratings going on at once, which is entirely feasible, I've seen that happen many times. You only have 3 task forces. Any remaining convoys are completely unprotected. And you're probably not going to be at 100% coverage, but if you break it up into smaller task forces, it can help with, like, I forget. I think you can get higher escort efficiency.
Per task force?
It's probably too small. No, I said a multiple of 2. You probably want at least 6. Like I said, you're probably going to want, like, to give you a ballpark, you're probably going to want like 72 destroyers in convoy escort duty in 12 task forces of 6, something like that. Maybe 10.
The convoy under the convoy escort.
You're probably going to need 2 admirals in convoy escort duty. Yeah, especially because you can get weird things if they're escorting in very different parts of the world. I think that guy may be at the British Isles, though you could have him mostly do Mediterranean task forces. You're probably going to want 1 admiral who's in charge of, like, British home fleet, and then this convoy escort guy, maybe he actually is in charge of the task forces in the Med, since he's got convoy blockade runner. I wouldn't remove his existing task force until you've given him new ones. Otherwise, he'll, like, be removed from duty and you won't be able to reassign him for 2 weeks without, like, a little hourglass thing showing up.
Yeah.
Stopwatch. But yeah, I might give that guy like 10 task forces in the Med. And then the fleet that you had around England. It's called the Western Approaches something there. I guess you were suffering subrating in the Western Approaches. What? Your task force, I just noticed. It was called the Western Approaches, the convoy escort one. Western Approaches fleet. You must have suffered subrating or something there before. I'm not sure.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe there was some subrating going on there earlier. But, yeah. Anyways, I might give this guy the more dangerous areas and assign one of your other admirals in charge of in a new fleet with some of the, maybe around the British Isles or something. I wouldn't. Oh, he's got 2 task forces now. So you could put the Western Approaches fleet in a new fleet now. Like, and then you have to assign an admiral to it. You only have one guy. Mr. Power. Mr. Powers. He's not actually. He's got 2 coordination skill, which I think helps the convoy escort efficiency, and 3 attack. I guess attack might help with depth charges, so maybe he's fine. I don't know. But yeah, is that, well, how big is that task force, the Western Approaches fleet? 8? Yeah, I might split that up into just 2 task forces of 4, so that if one of them gets in sub-rating, there's another one, so that you're probably not going to suffer more than 2 raids at once around your whole miles, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, he's got those 2 forces, but I would give the other guy 10 and put them all in the Mediterranean. The guy who's convoy escort there. Bruce Frasner, whatever. Keep in mind, it looks like his task force is in English Channel, that one. If you select the force and right-click on it, you should see where it is. Oh, or is it trying to go the English Channel?
Yeah, it's trying to go there.
So yeah, you probably need to manually right-click on like the Aleppo or whatever naval base, assign it to my naval base in Syria. I think that's your nearest naval base. There may be other places who gave you docking rights. I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, Egypt did, didn't they? Did Egypt give you docking rights? I think you have fleets in Alexandria.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, well. Yeah, I would. So you got your entire navy there just based on this, out of this tiny level 1 naval base. Ooh, that's going to be a supply problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it needs to also act as a conduit for supplies for ground troops. I may need you to upgrade that naval base for me. I don't have the industry. I'm just working infrastructure in that area for now. Yeah, if you click on...
Where is it? This place?
It's technically on the middle, just south of the mountains. No, north of there. You can right-click to cancel that one. It's not there, it's there. Yeah.
How much should I upgrade it?
2 levels to level 3 is probably more than enough.
Okay.
But level 1 is probably inadequate. You can also help me get the infrastructure done there. If you do infrastructure for Aleppo, probably want to finish the infrastructure first, since it also adds supply range. You click twice on Aleppo. It's already in stripes, but if you click twice, that'll add you. Like right now, that tells you I'm working on infrastructure there. But if you left click,
yeah, it's not. I can't add it. I think you have to cancel first.
Not cancel, but I probably have to reduce by 1. Now you should be able to click. There we go.
Yeah.
And now if you drag it up, I would probably do it with in this 2 factories there. And if I'm not mistaken, yes, that will probably merge your 2 factories with my 2. I could be wrong. So that it'll proceed at a rate of 4 once it unpauses. That or you'll work on a level in parallel to mine.
Yeah, I think it might be in parallel. Not sure.
Yeah, well, it's going to take me quite a long time with just 2 factories to get done myself, so whatever. And yeah, and then the naval base is the next. I might drag the Lancashire infrastructure above the Aleppo naval base because I think there's steel there, right? Or no, you're working on mill. Well, I would get the Aleppo infrastructure before the mill then. Like,
yeah.
Make it so it's Lancashire, Aleppo, Lancashire, Aleppo. That kind of alternating pattern ensures, like, it won't assign two civ to the Lancashire until the infrastructure is already complete. So you won't be working on mill without full infrastructure. And then when the Aleppo infrastructure is complete, then it'll start working on the naval base.
I see.
And then when the mill are done in Lancashire, it'll increase the amount on the naval base, and you'll start in the Greater London mill. I don't know if we have enough time for 9 mill in Lancashire. You might want to reduce that to like 2, though, because you're in it. That naval base is going to be important. You can always come back and add more later. I'd probably just do like 2 mill. Like I said, you can definitely come back later and add more. It's just, you probably want after 2 all 15 on the Aleppo naval base. You'll at least need a level 2 naval base there, maybe a 3, to supply that huge fleet. Yeah, so I'm going to cut this video. You should assign some convoy escort forces in the eastern central Mediterranean. They will protect not just your supply convoys, but your troop convoys, and you need a whole bunch of those. You're going to have, when you send the 6 divisions, I think each is like 4 or 5 troop convoys, which means you're looking at like 30 convoys, which means you need at least 60 destroyers to fully protect them. And that's assuming you don't have things with like some of them getting tied up, and you probably want like 72 is probably the right number. So that's a ton of, I guess, 10 forces of well, around 6 or 7 destroyers each, you know, guarding those 2 or 3 naval zones. Yep. Anyways, bigger ones will slightly increase the chances you engage them in force when they do sub-rating, but it'll also increase the chances of a convoy getting caught completely undefended, because you have, you know, more destroyers guarding an existing convoy. Anyways, I'm gonna cut this video. I hope those of you on YouTube weren't completely bored out of your minds. Take care of each other, be kind yourselves, and may you always find a guiding star leading. Until next time, it's Northstar. Adieu, and best luck to you all.